and welcome to industrialguideasia.com. You know, we are at the ME 2017 and we are moving around. We are here at the PNF, is it?
Yes.
All right, so we've got a representative here. He's going to tell us about the company, share with us about the knowledge industry 4.0. Okay, sir, can you introduce yourself and introduce your company?
My name's Simon Sumner. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Pepperl+Fuchs in Southeast Asia. Based in Singapore, we've been here since 1979 and we've developed a big presence with factories across the region, across the world. Originally a German company, started in 1945, responsible for invention of a number of industrial automation products. And we find the market here is very exciting, very developing. And we've done this show now for 4 years and we're very, very pleased with the level of technical knowledge and everything that we see in Thailand and Southeast Asia.
So what kind of products do you have in line?
So our basic range comprises of sensor products. So we're talking ultrasonic sensors, photoelectric sensors, lasers, fiber optics and proximity switches. And then we become more complex to positioning systems, so encoder systems, navigation systems for automated vehicles, and then we get to our systems product, which is more RFID identification systems. So generally around sensing, but for many, many different applications.
As a very old company, you definitely have a lot of experience in the industry. So what makes your products different from the rest of the other pack?
So one of the things that we really concentrate on is an industry focus, and this sometimes separates us. So we don't say this is what we're going to develop in this technology and this technology. We say what are we going to develop for a specific industry? Take materials handling or conveyors or AGV technology, automated guided vehicles. We have specifically looked at those areas and developed solutions for them rather than looking at what we have and trying to incrementally improve. So we try to be a little bit disruptive. And from that we end up with developing some unique products. Not everything is always a hit immediately, but you know, we have a long-term view, and I think that's what differentiates us from the crowd really.
So how are the people in Southeast Asia responsive to your products?
Very, very well. I'd say that Southeast Asia is a high-tech emerging economy, and across the region from Singapore to Thailand to Malaysia to the Philippines, there is a strong sense of needing to move with the times to stay competitive. There's always another low-cost economy that wants to employ people, and even in places like Vietnam we see the adoption of automation and the adoption of these technologies, and in Industry 4 it's been quite amazing with large factories and large investments in this technology all across the region. And I think it helps that the Asians are a very technologically, a pro-technology set of people. But in Southeast Asia there's a huge variety of cultures, and the interesting thing is how these people differentiate themselves from each other. But I think the best results are always when we work together. So yeah, I think that the adoption of things like Industry 4.0 has been very, very good so far.
So a challenge that you might be facing in the region, what is it?
I'd say the challenge we face in the region is maintaining the quality of the installation, the whole service package. So we manufacture a product which is sort of data acquisition. So we gather information to go into a system. What we need to make sure is that there's a whole variety of other customers or other companies that are able to take that data and use it intelligently. And so I suppose you can consider it a community where for Industry 4.0 what we need to have is we need to have the best possible community to make sure that our products are taken and used in the best possible way. So we only sort of make up a piece of the puzzle, and then other companies, other automation systems providers, data handling, big data companies, you know, these guys are all important. So I think that creating a community of companies is the biggest challenge. So we need to talk more and communicate more, and that I think is the biggest challenge that we face with Industry 4.
So as a German company here in Southeast Asia, do you think you have an urge above other companies?
How do you mean an urge?
Like an upper hand, because most companies are local that I know, and some of them, like Germany, is like where the 4.0 is already being implemented. So here it's still fresh. We have companies that are local and are still producing the products and the new technology. So do you think being from a German company does help in the market?
I think it can help because of the fact that we have a view, a global view and a view from Europe. We also have a big operation in the US, and we obviously have big operations in Asia. I think specifically being German doesn't necessarily help, because I think an early decision, an early thing that was decided in Industry 4 was, is just doing this in Europe and Germany really possible? And quickly the decision was, no, it's got to be a worldwide effort and it's got to be something that's done everywhere. So I think, yes, it's being from one of the pioneering countries helps us, but actually the feedback we get from customers in Asia and other parts of the world is probably what drives us to create the best products. So I'd say that it's the combination. And I think if we didn't have such a big operation in APAC, Asia Pacific, I think that a lot of our products wouldn't look the same as they do now. So I don't think it makes us necessarily better. What makes us better is the fact that we take input from everywhere.
All right, and then how do you see the future? The future in the industry.
I see there being a lot of implementation of Industry 4 in the region. We see it already in Thailand, in Malaysia, with regards to factories, foreign and local, implementing new systems and new solutions. I think the future is pretty bright, because I think the nice thing is that the guys in Asia and Southeast Asia especially realise the fact that they must invest. And they must invest to maintain their competitiveness in the same way as European companies must, and the same way that American companies must. So I see the future as being bright here, not just for manufacturing of basic products, but also as moving up the value chain, installing machines, becoming regional leaders in certain technologies. And I think that's great. I mean, Thailand's got the biggest car manufacturing industry in the region. And you can see by the fact that a lot of it being Japanese orientated car manufacturing is really positive for everybody in the industry, because it shows that automation and high tech and high quality is easy to achieve in these areas, and there's a lot of respect.
All right, so one final word to someone watching us right now. What can you share to them about the 4.0 industry or anything technology wise?
I think, from my personal opinion and my personal position as an engineer, I'd say you've got to look at the big picture. And the big picture here is maintaining long-term your ability to be flexible. As the world gets smaller in terms of communication, weirdly, the products that we want become more specific and more localized. We see more customization. People don't want to make 10 million of anything anymore. They want to make 1,000 each of 1,000,000 products, for example. And so this is where the customer requirements are going, and so I think that you need to look at the big picture to make sure you realise that, because I think that ultimately the people that will survive in the industry are the people who have the smartest supply chain, not necessarily the cheapest.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It is industrialguideasia.com. Go on and subscribe to our channel. Go on and go to our website. Get the news. Get educated. I hope you got learned. All right. Thank you so much and goodbye.